All right, guys, we're going to give this a try. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. How are you? Oh my God. Oh my yogis. How you doing? How you doing? Hi, my name is Tom, and we're going to be doing a yoga practice. I miss all you. I love being outside in the park, but I'm hoping this is the next best thing. These are my two humble assistants. This is Gus. That's Pip. They get a little snarky. They help out sometimes. Hopefully, they won't. Don't be nutty. Too late. I know it's too late to be nutty. So they're going to help me guide you through practice today. So remember, I'm going to start you guys off in integration series. We'll talk about what that means. I'm going to stand and walk you through it, then I'll jump on the mat and join you as well. So we're going to do it for about an hour or so, maybe a little bit less, depending. I don't have any big bodies in here, so it's a little artificial for me. But when I'm in the studio or out with people, we have a lot of interaction. It takes some time. So we're not going to have that today, but we're going to get back there soon. So let's get going. And before we really start, I just want to recommend everybody to take deep breaths, make sure you've got some water, make sure you've got a mat, you've got a towel. Most of you yogis know what you need. We're going to go through kind of a vinyasa flow, a little bit more power today, but you can modify it. We'll give you options for modification as we go through. So let's get ourselves started in integration, which means we're going to come to tabletop and move ourselves into child's pose. So get hands and knees on your mat. Take those knees to the outside edges of your mat. Bring your big toes together to touch behind. Shift your hips back into your heels. Go ahead and release those arms forward. Forehead's hitting that mat. You're settling in nice and comfortable. Before we do anything, take a quick assessment of how you're feeling. So take some breaths. Feel connected to the earth, to the mat, wherever you are. Maybe you're on the lawn. Maybe you're in your home. Maybe you're on the terrace or the deck. Just enjoy where you are, settling yourself in. Once you make connection, take a little bit of an inventory. How are you doing? What's going on? So physically kind of go through from the top of your head to the bottom of your toes and kind of identify any spots that might need a little extra attention, a little extra love. You might want to go a little slower. You might want to pick it up and go a little faster, your choice. But remember, let your body lead your practice. It's good advice for any time you get into a workout situation. So we're going to create a breath, a controlled breathing. It's going to help us kind of modulate our body, working through our warm-up, working through our yoga practice today. It's a controlled breathing, as I said, it's called Ujjayi Pranayama. So seal those lips together. And what you're going to do is develop a nice, comfortable rhythm. So begin those inhales and exhales through your nose, deep and steady. Find that pace. This is a rhythm that's deeper than your normal breathing, but remember, it's got to be sustainable. Feel your lungs expanding as you take that air in. Focus your mind on your body, especially those lungs. And as you focus your mind, you give it a point to quiet itself down. And that's what we're looking for, a nice, quiet mind. We're going to go ahead and add the next part, the controlling element. Constrict those muscles at the bottom of your throat. And once you do that, what's going to happen is as you breathe out, you get a little bit of a vibration. Maybe you'll feel a little humming noise. And an easy way to do that, if you don't know, is to slightly tilt your chin towards your chest. And that's our Ujjayi Pranayama, our controlled breath. Now, as we move through our practice, I will always do my very best to start you with that breath cue, the inhale or the exhale. It's that important. The name of the posture we're moving ourselves into. Some alignments to consider, maybe some options or variations to those alignments, again, depending on how you're feeling. So now that you guys are integrating your breath with your mind, focusing on your body. Let's take an inhale, bring ourselves back into tabletop position. I'm going to join you guys on my mat here at the home studio. We do a little cow and cat to undulate that spine. So we're going to round that back on that exhale, drop your head, drop your tail. Inhale, release your belly, head lifts up, tail lifts up. If you want to throw a hip roll in, please feel free to do that. Remember, go the other direction as well, moving those shoulders around. And give yourself about 3 or so rounds of cow and cat. So rounding that back, dropping that belly. It's also called cow and camel. Beautiful. Bring yourself back to that neutral tabletop position. I like to have my hands a little closer into each other. They should be fingers wide to dissipate the weight. Just don't dump it into your wrists. Palms under your shoulders. And again, I make my hands a little bit narrower. And my knees are about hip distance apart, about the width of 2 fists. Go ahead, curl your toes under, and as you exhale, lift your hips into our first downward facing dog. This is your first down dog of the day. Take some time. Walk that dog out. Pedal those legs one after the other. Maybe rise up with the balls of both toes, bend those knees. Stretch that spine, let your head just dangle towards your mat, but really stretching out our hamstrings, our calves, activating those shoulders. Take a good deep breath in, look up towards your hands. As you exhale, step yourself forward. Keep those feet about hip distance apart. Again, about the width of 2 fists. Measure it if you need to. Kind of get used to what that feels like. Bend your knees, soften them up. This is called a ragdoll. We're going to grab opposite elbows. Again, the crown of our head's reaching towards the mat, and just slowly and gently shake a little side to side. Nice easy sway here. You take both hands and walk on the outside edge of one foot, and remember to do the same thing on the other side. A lot of people like to grab opposite elbows behind your knees. Again, head is really just loose, dangling off the end of your neck. Now release your fingertips back to that mat. Totally slow toe heel our feet together. Keep your knees soft or bent. We're going to inhale, rise to standing. Chin's going to come last. Go ahead and circle your arms up to the side into our first mountain. Remember, shoulders are relaxed here. I see a lot of this going on in classes. I don't want those shoulders near those ears. I want them really away, but I want that spine nice and tall, palms facing towards each other. Let's do a nice supported back bend to start with. So take your palms at your lower back, fingers pointing down, dial those elbows behind you for support. Here's how I like to break it down. Inhale, lift your chin up. Now, before you begin to exhale and back bend, press forward, get the foundation in place first. Exhale, drop into a back bend. Beautiful. Inhale, rise back up. Arms back up overhead, palms together. Soften those knees. Exhale, release back into that forward fold. Now in this forward fold, keep those knees bent. Release your belly to your thighs. Let's plant our left hand right above our toes. Soften those knees. Inhale that right arm up, getting a nice good supported twist. Once you get the twist, maybe straighten that right knee. And if you'd like, you can drop that right arm into a bind. Keep that shoulder reaching up towards the sky, nice alignment. Beautiful. Slowly exhale, soften that right knee, plant that right hand. Let's change sides. Inhale, left arm up. Again, get the twist first, then decide to straighten the knee, and maybe drop the bind. Slowly exhale, bring that left hand back down. On our next inhale, we're rising to our flat back, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. I like to make sure that you're shifting forward into your toes. If you need to, plant those fingertips on your mat. Give yourself a little extra support. We're trying to stack our hips over our ankles. Beautiful. Now plant your hands flat on your mat. I like to soften my knees to begin with, and I'm going to step back into my plank. Now as I inhale, I'm going to shift myself forward, and I'm going to only exhale about halfway down to my mat. I'm going to flip on the tops of my toes. I'm going to inhale into my first up dog. Depending on your neck flexibility, you might be just looking forward, or you might be looking slightly up. But nice and tall. The only point of contact are the tops of our toes and our palms of our hands. And we're going to exhale into downward facing dog. And again, taking a little bit extra time here in our first round of sun salutation to stretch that dog out. Beautiful. Take a nice deep breath, look up towards your hands, and as you exhale, step, hop, float yourself up forward. Inhale to that halfway lift. Exhale back to forward fold. Inhale, rising to that mountain Tadasana. Again, shoulders relaxed. Let's open our arms wide. Let's inhale, lift that chin up. Exhale, drop into that back bend. Nice. Inhale, back into mountain. Palms are going to come together. We're going to exhale, release, hinging at that waist back to forward fold, nice and slow. Inhale to that half lift. And again, plant your hands. You can step, you can hop, you can thrust back into plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, press back up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Little change of variety. Those are always nice options to explore, especially if up dog's not your deal. Okay, let's do that one more time. Big deep breath in. Look up towards the top of your mat. As you exhale, step, hop, jump yourself forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale again, rising to that mountain Tadasana. So palms are going to come together. Interlace your fingers. Release those index fingers. Inhale, chin lifts up. Exhale, classic back bend. Anyavitasana. Nice. Inhale, rise back up. Palms are together. Let's soften those knees. Exhale, release, hinging and back into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, step, hop, thrust back to plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, up dog. Ooh, exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Remember to keep those fingers wide, really, maybe even pressing the tips of your fingertips into your mat. Provides nice, good, sticky support. Really stretching out. Up dog, we're making a triangle, upside down letter V shape with our bodies. Good. Big breath in, look up towards the top of your mat. Exhale, step, hop, float, levitate forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. And we're going to bend those knees and inhale into chair or Utkatasana. This time our hips are shifted back. I actually can pick my toes up off the mat. Most of the weight is in my heels. I like to use this time to exhale and sweep my arms back, opening those shoulders up a little bit more. And because we're here, why not? Inhale, let's rise to mountain, kind of sexy. Open those arms wide. Inhale, chin lifts up. Exhale, back bend. Oh, inhale, back to mountain. Palms together. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And again, plant those hands. Step, hop, or thrust back to plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, down dog. We're going to add on to our next round of sun salutation. We're going to take that right leg. So inhale, right leg goes nice and high. As you exhale, take your foot, you're going to sweep it under your body, plant it between your palms into a low lunge. I love to twist. The reason I like to do that is because it really helps keep my spine flexible, muscles of my back limber, which contributes to good posture, which contributes to good balance. Just inhale that right arm up. Unfortunately, I don't have mirrors here, but I want to see my shoulders stacked nicely, one on top of the other. I'm going to slowly exhale, bring my right hand back down. Now I'm going to inhale into crescent lunge, but before I do that, I'm going to take the ball of my right foot and press strongly against it. So create some tension there, really strengthening that left leg for support. Now I'm going to hinge right here at my hips, so I'm just going to hinge up nice and slow, and add my arms, crescent lunge. I'm going to try not to be up here, but try to be down here. The lower I am in this posture, the lower of my center of gravity, the more stability I've got. But don't be afraid to fall. And if you do, just come back and join us. As we exhale, we're going to open it to Warrior Two. So I began by spinning my back foot flat. I'm checking it, making sure it's really nicely parallel back edge of my mat. Front knee is deep and bent. Maybe looking off to the side, checking my shoulders over my hips. Maybe bringing my thumbs together, swiveling in position, turning my head forward. Beautiful. Take that front palm, flip it up towards the sky. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Now we're going to exhale, cartwheel those hands to the mat. Step that front foot back into plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Again, pressing those legs, stretching out through the whole back body here. Working the second side. Inhale, left leg nice and high. Exhale again, sweeping that foot through, plant it between our palms. This is called low lunge or low dragon. Both hands again pressing on either side of that left foot. Inhale, left arm up. Get a good supported twist. This is a modification of revolve crescent lunge. Or if you like to say, Pavrita Anjaneyasana. Exhale, bring that left hand, back down to your mats. And again, like we did on the first side, get some stability here. So press against the ball of that right foot, carrying some tension in that right leg. At my hips, I'm going to hinge up on my inhale. Arms are added secondly. Again, not up here, trying to stay as low as possible. I'd love to have my quad parallel with my mat. As you exhale, again, I'm going to go into my warrior two. So like I did in the first one, I'm checking my back foot, checking my shoulders over my hips, sinking low, maybe thumbs coming together, still holding a position, moving my head forward. Front palm flips up, inhale, reverse that. Again, a good side body stretch. Trying to come out of that front knee, keep it nice and deep. And then we're going to slowly exhale, cartwheel those hands back to that mat. Step that front foot back into your plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. And again, keep pressing, stretching it out. Deep breath in, look up towards the top of your mat. Exhale, step, hop, float it up forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back to forward fold. Bend those knees, inhale one more time back into our chair. Exhale, sweep those arms back. Just for fun, let's rise up in the balls of our toes. Inhale, arms back up overhead. Palms together, release those heels. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, step, hop, thrust back to plank. Listen to the cueing, guys. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, down dog. Right, we're going to pick things up just a little bit quicker. This gets a little aerobic and kind of intense, but it's a nice, good, strong flow. Only 2 rounds on each side. Breath to movement. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel back. Step that foot back, you got a chaturanga, shifting forward, lowering halfway down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale to low lunge. Inhale to crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. And then exhale, hands to the mat. Step it back, shift forward. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. And then exhale, hands to the mat. Step it back. Shift it forward. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, press it up. Exhale, down dog. Good. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale to crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step it back. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, down dog. That was totally fun. Stretch it out, guys. Do it again. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Listen to the cueing. Exhale, inhale. I'm sorry, guys. Warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse triangle. Straighten that front knee, reaching on up. Nice, good side body stretch. Now soften that front knee. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step it back into plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, again, we're into our warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, go ahead and reverse the warrior. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step it back to plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Pedal it out, move those legs, give yourself a little extra room. Now inhale, look up to the mat. Exhale, step it up forward. Have a seat. Woo! Very nice. Little core work. So a lot of yoga strength, a lot of functional daily strength comes from our core. Not just this, but your transverse abs, the abs that wrap our thoracic spine, our midsection. That's where the strength comes from. Six packs are just diet. This is where the strength is. So we're gonna kind of focus on that right now. I'm gonna do a reverse tabletop. We're gonna hold it. I'm gonna do a reverse plow, and we'll do boat Namaste. So reverse tabletop's really quite simple. We know what tabletop is. We started in tabletop. Boom. We're gonna reverse it. Bend my knees, feet are flat, palms right by my hips, maybe a little bit more forward, fingertips pointing forward, lift my hips up, drop my head back. Pressing those hips with a nice flat tabletop position with my belly. Now from here, I'm going to step my feet out into reverse plank. And I can drop my hips. That was awesome. Again, one more round. Palms right by my hips, maybe a little bit far forward back when feet are flat. Knees about hip distance. Inhale, shift those hips up. Drop your head back. Pressing those hips up, nice flat belly for tabletop. Extending my legs out in front of me. Nice and long. And then drop those hips. Perfect. Boat Namaste. A lot of people hate boat, a lot of people love boat. Find your peace with boat. There's lots of levels of boat. So what I want to really make sure you understand is any level that you're at is perfectly fine. It's the level where you need to be. What I like to make sure is that I'm keeping this curve in my lower back. It naturally goes like that. That is a neutral. So as we do this, and we get into these boats that look like this, you're putting a lot of strain here. And that's why we typically have weak cores, which affects our backs, which is why we go through life with back pain. So in order to do this properly, let's kind of get ourselves set. Knees are back, feet are flat. What I want to do is I want to roll my shoulders back first, fingers behind my knees, lift my chin up slightly. Now, this is basically a version of boat. What's happening is my abs, my transverse abs, all this muscle group here is getting engaged, a little isometric. Now, to take away some stability and make these work a little bit more, you can lift your legs up and then release your arms. And then straighten those knees, and we're pointing our toes. Keep breathing, don't hold your breath. Beautiful, release it. Do that one more time. Now I'm here in Southern California, so for those of you who aren't, the cue about pointing your toes is about how pretty it looks. Southern California, unfortunately, we are about what we drive and how we look. I don't make the rules up, but that's what it's about. Shoulders roll back, core is engaged, legs lift up, arms reach out, legs straighten, toes point, chin up. Beautiful. Hug those knees in. Let's roll back into our mats and gently roll a little side to side. I'll do a little happy baby here, perfectly fine. Oh, we'll do a little happy baby a little bit later as well. Helps open up those hips. Beautiful. Now hug those knees back into your chest. We'll go ahead and change the direction of our roll, rolling along our spine. See if I'm really fancy today. You can come up and shift yourself into tabletop, or maybe get a little bit more athletic. Give yourself a jump back. To do that, you're going to inhale, shift forward. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So a little bit more twisting for us today. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. So we've been here before. This is our low lunge or low dragon, and we're going to inhale into crescent lunge. So this is the foundation for our prayer twist. Palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, leaning forward, giving yourself some length in that spine. Exhale, taking that, left over to the right. Now as we do that, I'm going to anchor my elbow to my knee, and every time I exhale, I'm going to press my palms together more, lining those thumbs up with my heart center. Beautiful. Unravel that twist. Drop your hands on your mat inside that right foot. Toe heel that right foot out of the way. Maybe roll to the knife edge. Drop that left knee. And if you feel like you could surrender into a nice runner's lunge position, also known as the low dragon. Beautiful. We're going to inhale, bring those palms back into your shoulders. Now, as you rise up, you're going to step that front foot back into your plank. In this version of plank, let's bring our feet together. We're going to move into side plank. Perfectly fine to do this on your forearms if you'd like, or full extension. What I like to do here is I'm going to bring my left hand to the center of my mat. What I see a lot of in practice is this, where I'm creating a triangle here. I want to actually shift forward. So this is nicely stacked. And then reaching on up, pressing away. This is about obliques. Not very balanced, so looking up is a challenge for me, but a lot of people find that really easy, lifting that top leg. Beautiful. Slowly, let's exhale back into our plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, up dog. Oh, exhale, downward facing dog. Now let's work the second side. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale to low lunge. Again, inhaling, hinging at those hips into our crescent lunge. Palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, leaning forward, getting the length. Exhale, right to the left. Again, press that elbow to knee, and every exhale, pressing your palms together, getting that twist a little bit deeper. Beautiful. Exhale, release. Drop those hands on the inside of that left foot, toe heel it out like you did on the first side. Drop into runner's lunge. This is a nice posture for opening our hips up. Child's pose is where we began with that. Opening our hips up a little bit more here. And then when we get to our half pigeon, it'd be a nice, good, ultimate hip opener, which affects lower back. A lot of people find, especially in child's pose, that really alleviates a lot of lower back strain. It's a nice stretch. It's a comfortable stretch. If you've got any pains in your knees, you might take a towel and roll it up and put them behind your knees when you get into that child's pose position. Inhale, both palms underneath that shoulders. Stepping on up. Front foot back to your back, both again meeting together. Right hand center of the mat, shifting forward, moving into Vasisthasana, side plank. And exhale, release into that nice tall plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, down dog. A little more twisting. We're going to go into chair, starting to get ourselves ready for prayer twist. Big, deep breath in. Look up towards your hands. Exhale, step hop. Float yourself forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend those knees. Inhale into chair. Palms together, like we did before. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, leaning forward again, lengthening spine. This time, exhale, left crosses to the right. Try to keep your knees straight, side by side. It's hard to do. If you notice them shifting out of position, just pull back on your posture. Again, you can open arms here if you like. And maybe drop the bind. Beautiful. Unravel your twist. Back into chair. Palms together, release into forward fold. Oh, give yourself a break here. Now, we're going to go into what's called gorilla. Gorilla is lots of different ways to do gorilla, hand positioning wise. The way I like to do it in this flow is to separate my feet about hip distance. Palms flip up, I'm sliding my hands under my feet to anchor them down, head's released, and then I'm just straightening my knees. My knees are pretty straight already and I'm not working too much. I'm going to use the strength of my arms and my shoulders, pull myself deeper into forward fold by bowing those elbows out to the side. Another way to do this is with your feet together, flip your hands behind, cup your heels, trying to bring our forearms together, and then straighten those knees. And also you can do it from the side as well. So release those hands one at a time. Toe heel your feet back together. Inhale, back into chair. Palms together, exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, I'll lean forward. Exhale, this time the right's going to the left. Little prayer twist. If you open arms on one side, do it here. You can go ahead and drop the bind. Beautiful, and release. Have a seat, guys. Woo, this is nice. Next up, crow, Bakasana. So, hello, my little yogi, hello. You're so helpful. So in crow, we're working with a lot of transverse ab strength. That's where it comes from. A lot of people think crow is about shoulder strength, arm strength. It isn't, but it's a tricky posture because it's a lot about balance and transverse ab strength, that core strength we talk about. Here's the way I like to get into crow. A lot of people get into crow from a wide-legged malasana, which is perfectly fine. But my problem with that for me is that the weight of my legs is going this way, and I want to control everything down my meridian. So as I've gotten older, I've gotten a little smarter. What I like to do is start in a modified chair. So I'm going to bring my feet together. I'm going to go into a nice deep crouch, rising up on the balls of my toes. Planting my hands, thank you for helping. And fingers wide, my knees are open up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my neck up to begin with. I'm activating my core right now, so I'm getting it nice and strong, that isometric we talk about. So as you rise up, you're going to gently shift yourself forward, and then pick one foot up, pick the other foot up. And this is our crow, Bakasana. What's happening in crow is we're creating a triangle shape, and the difficulty is balancing your head and your feet. So the fear, and I had it when I started learning this posture, thanks for coming, thanks for helping, was that I was going to face plant. And it's scary and it's real because I learned on cement, I'm not that bright. So that's what you have to really guard against, is as you hinge forward, find that point of equilibrium. So my recommendation, if you're still working through your crow, is maybe today's the day you just kind of test yourself forward. You go, oh, that's pretty good. Fingers really wide, guys, and press those fingertips in. Shifting forward, maybe go ahead and pick one foot up, do it back. We shift again forward, pick the other foot up, and then maybe try to go for full-blown crow. And of course, as you know, there's also side crow, which gets a little twisty here. I'm not that good at my side crow yet, but you get the idea. Grab some water, take a bit of a break, towel yourself off if you need to, shake things up. We've been going really pretty strong. So we've done a lot of work overall body. I love these yoga flows that are kind of a full body. There are times when I need a little bit more twisting, something a little bit more supportive, and I'll do maybe more of a gentle practice for myself or lead a gentle practice where we focus on our mats, doing a lot of twisting, holding body positions, almost moving into what's called a yang practice. A yin practice from a yang. Yin is where you hold a posture. It's so supported and comfortable. You can hold it for a couple minutes and feel the benefit of the stretch, but not feel any strain. So that's the important part. So when you're finished gathering yourself back together, drinking your water, toweling yourself off, let's get back into our child's pose. Hands and knees on our mats. Now this child's pose, again, check your alignments, knees hip distance. Let's inhale that right arm up. Now we're going to exhale, take that right hand, thread the needle. So sweep it under your body, release your shoulder to the mat, the side of your head to the mat. I just learned this twist the other day. I really am kind of liking it. I've been trying to practice it every day. So in this thread the needle, my right arm is threaded under my shoulder. I'm going to take my left foot and step it all the way out. Take my left arm, reach it up, and then drop it back. Now the temple of my head, the side of my head, has stayed in position for support. So I'm getting a really good counterbalance to my leg, letting me go a little deeper in this twist. Beautiful. Bring that left hand back in position. Bring your left knee back in position. Rise up. Now we're going to inhale that left arm up. And then again, exhale, threading that needle. Releasing your shoulder, temple of your head. Right leg steps all the way out. Right arm up, drop it back. Beautiful. Exhale. Now bring yourself back into tabletop. Curl those toes under. Exhale to down dog. Nice deep breath in. Look up towards the top of the mat. Exhale, step hop, float yourself forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, back to forward fold. Now in this standing forward fold, I'm really trying to get my forehead to hit my knees as much as possible. So really let the crown of your head just release and relax. I do use a little bit of pressure on my mat. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to inhale into chair. Beginning some balance. We're going to start with eagle. Well, this is a tricky posture because you've got ups and downs. So my right arm is going to twine under my left, creating my wrapped eagle arms, keeping my elbows at shoulder height. If this is too strenuous, just giving yourself a hug is perfectly fine, works really good. Now, shifting the weight onto my left leg, I'm taking my right leg, inhale up and around. Again, a tall posture here, gazing forward. Breathing strong and steady. Nice. Unravel those legs. Inhale back into chair. Left arm under the right this time, second side. Elbows tall. Weight shifts onto the right side. Inhale, left leg up and over. Again, tall torso. Beautiful. Here are my helpers. And unravel those legs. Inhale into Mountain Tadasana. Standing dancer's pose. Take my right elbow, bring it to my right hip. My palm is flipped up. Here's what we need to do. When I kick my foot up, I don't want to grab the outside like this. That starts to twist my torso and my hips. I want to grab the inside. So I'm grabbing the inside level of my foot, edge, knees together. This is the pose. Now, to want to go deeper, this pose is activated by the strength of our legs. I like to give myself a little arch in that back. Start kicking that back foot. My support leg is slightly soft. And the more I kick back, the more I reach forward for balance. Lifting, stretching, reaching, kicking. Good. Inhale, rise back up. So again, the support leg is slightly soft. When we lock joints out, we, over time, loosen those joints and compromise them. So we don't want to do that. We want to keep those joints pliable. It also helps for stability. So second side, arms overhead, left elbow, left hip, palm up. Then I'm kicking this left foot up, sorry guys, grabbing the inside edge. Again, like I was before, I'm in the posture. So again, lifting through my chest, kicking back first, and then reaching forward. Kicking strong, reaching, finding balance. Beautiful. Inhale, rise back up. Now we're mountain palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. This is called Namaste, standing at attention. Great place to start for tree. I can see some trees outside of my lovely windows here, so I'm going to try to find my favorite tree today. And again, I'm going to start on the right side. So I like to begin by just kicking that right knee out to the side. And I might create a little bit of a kickstand here to start with. And I might just kind of hang out here and just go, how do I feel? The biggest thing I have found for myself as I've gotten older is the fear of failure. And I have always hated balanced postures because I don't feel very balanced in a lot of ways, but physically particularly. And then I read a wonderful little quote by a yogi teacher who teaches inner city youth in Chicago. And he was talking about the joy kids find in falling as part of a game. And he says, unfortunately, as adults, we have left that behind. Wow, that's a really interesting way to flip the switch, change the channel on our preconceptions. So I just kind of start, how am I doing? I'm in tree already, I'm pretty good. Maybe I want to bring that foot to my calf, or maybe I'm going to help it up to my upper inner thigh. Now I'm pressing against my inner thigh with as much energy at the bottom of my foot as my inner thigh is pressing against it, finding balance. Again, the yin and the yang. And if I want to be a nice tall tree, I can raise my arms overhead, open them nice and wide, big canopy tree. Beautiful. Palms together, exhale, hands to heart center. Release that foot back down. Good, shake it up a little bit. Now let's work the second side. So this time our support leg is going to be our right leg. Again, slightly soft knee here. Begin by shifting that foot out. Maybe going a little higher. And remember, we want to be above the knee or below the knee, never against the knee. The knee works this way. We're putting lateral pressure. It starts to damage and weaken the knee joint. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to compromise it. So if you need to, help that foot up. And again, we're in tree. And I was this wide canopy tree the first side. Maybe I'm a date palm the second. I could be a cactus. I live in an area where Joshua trees are. Maybe it's windy. And my favorite, a little reverse prayer. Beautiful. Palms together, release that foot back down. Exhale into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, step yourself back into plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale to low lunge. Now inhale into warrior two. So in this warrior two, I really want to make sure my foundation is strong. So I'm going to actually stretch myself a little bit further. We're going to move ourselves into side triangle or trikonasana. So in trikonasana, the longer my stance is, the better the geometry looks in my body. So I'm going to inhale, straighten my front knee. Exhale, reach forward. And gently again twist into trikonasana. And some of you might be working on revolving your trikonasana, your triangle, where you would drop that top arm, revolve in the opposite direction, perfectly fine. Some of us are happy just to stay with more of the classic shape. Beautiful. Inhale, rise back up. I'm going to extend my arms out like the letter T. I'm taking my front foot and shift it so it's parallel to my back foot. Both feet pointing the same way, shoulders together, relax. I'm going to hinge at my waist, release into a wide leg standing forward fold. Great place to put your hands right in the center of your mat. Maybe stretch those feet out a little further. Grab the outside edges of your feet, or maybe the crown of your head on your mat. Beautiful. Go ahead, release those arms out like the letter T. Inhale, rise back up to standing. We're going to take our front foot, shift it so it's pointing forward. Exhale back into warrior two. Inhale, reverse our warrior. And then exhale, hands to the mat. Step it back into that plank. Inhale, give yourself a shift forward. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, down dog. Second side, inhale, left leg high. Exhale, deep low lunge. And again, inhale, rising to my warrior two. Checking my feet position, stretching out a little further. Inhale, straighten that front knee. Exhale, reach forward. Again, back into trikonasana. And if you revolve on the first side, you can revolve here on the second. Stretching those ribs up. Beautiful. Inhale, rise back up. Again, front foot shifts. Release your arms to the side. Bring them behind. Interlace those fingers into a bind. Give yourself a stretch. And then exhale. Release into that standing wide leg forward fold with the bind. Arm moving away from your back. Good. Slowly inhale, rise back up. Release those arms out like the letter T. Take that front foot, shift it forward. Exhale, release into warrior two. Inhale, reverse the warrior. And then exhale, hands to the mat. Step it back into that plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, down dog. Right, we're going to inhale, shift forward to high plank, and then as you exhale, I want you guys to lower all the way down onto your mats. Once your belly hits that mat, extend your arms out like the letter T. We're going to go into locust. So I'm going to walk you through it, and I'm going to do it with you. So arms out like the letter T. Legs can be together, slightly apart, your choice. This is about back strength. I like to bring my legs up first. And once I do that, I lift my torso up. I think bringing your legs up first is a little kinder on your lower back. Classic locust salabhasana, arms out like the letter T. You can reach them forward like a superhero if you'd like, angle them back like airplane wings, or my favorite, doing a bind. So let's all do this. So we're on the mat, chin on your mat looking forward, arms extended out, maybe rising them on your fingertips, legs up, chest up. Maybe you're a superhero, an airplane, or the bind. Beautiful release. When you put your left ear on the mat looking right, take a bit of break. Arms by your side. Little earthquake. I know, we had an earthquake. All right, let's do some more back work. I want you guys to sit up into a modified version, hero pose here, and bring your palms together. Interlace those fingers, release your index fingers, tuck your chin slightly, exhale. Bring your forehead to the mat, extend those arms out in front of you. Now let's inhale slowly, rise back up, drop your hands to your side, shift yourself into tabletop, curl those toes under, exhale, down dog. So pigeon, half pigeon is what it's called, a lot of hip work here. If you feel more comfortable doing this on your back in a supine version, it's one of my favorites, please feel free to flip over onto your back. But we're going to inhale that right leg high, exhale, right knee comes to your right wrist. What you're going to do is you're going to check that back foot, make sure your foot's in alignment with your leg, toe sometimes naturally sickles in. So stay nice and tall, front foot is across your mat in the number 4 position, and then surrender forward. If you're doing this in a supine version on your back, take that right leg, reach up, cross it over, thread the needle, pull back. Both are perfectly fine. And again, it's about opening up these hips. Now let's inhale, bring those palms underneath your shoulders. Gently rise up, step your front foot back into plank. Exhale to down dog. Take some time in this down dog to walk those legs out. Pedal, push, move around. Get that blood flowing. Important to get that blood moving around. Let's work the second side. If you're doing it supine on your back, you're going to flip to the other leg. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, left knee to left wrist. And check that back foot, make sure the foot's in alignment. And if you feel like surrendering forward, do it on this side as well. All right, slowly inhale, bring those palms again back underneath your shoulders. And again, gently rise up, step your front foot back into plank. Exhale into down dog. Big breath, look up towards your mat. Exhale, step forward, have a seat. Extend your legs out from you, nice and low. So we're going to do a little forward folding here. Now, we've been doing a lot of forward folding, Uttanasana, in our practice. We're doing it mostly in a standing version. We're going to do it on a seated version right now. Benefit of this is you're fully supported on your mat, so you can go maybe a little bit deeper. Get connected, move around, shift those hips around, arms up. Now, as you inhale, lift that chin up slightly, and then exhale, feel like you're reaching beyond those toes. Go all the way out. What I like to try to do is flex my toes up, and just leave my forearms on either sides of my calves, and tuck my chin and reach forward. Now if I want to go a little deeper, I'm going to look forward, I can grab onto my big toes, and I can bend my elbows and pull those big toes back towards my face. Now what's happening is I'm really emphasizing stretching my hamstrings. I'm going to feel it behind my knee and definitely my calves. Go a little deeper into your calves, your gastrocnemius. You want to pull those toes back towards your face, lifting those heels off your mat. Ooh, nice. Beautiful. And then inhale slowly, relaxing all the way back up. Now, extend your arms out in front of you for counterbalance. We're going to lower ourselves all the way down to our mats. Go really slow, curl down, so maybe tuck your chin slowly, using your arms to counterbalance. And once you get there, pull those knees up into your chest. Give yourself a roll side to side. And then some happy baby. So grab the inside or outside edges of your feet with your hands. Maybe even grabbing your big toes, rolling side to side. People like to bring the bottoms of their feet together, toggle one leg out, maybe fall over to the side, come back, other side, fall over, come back, classic happy baby. Good, draw those knees back into your chest. Do a little bit of supine twisting, some of my favorite things to do. Extend your left leg out from you nice and long. You take that right leg and cross it over, arms out like the letter T for support. And we're looking over our right shoulder. I like to play around and do a little bit of a pretzel here. Good, just inhale, unravel the twist. Centering our spine, bringing our knees back into our chest, rolling side to side. And getting ready for the second side. Right leg extends all the way out. I like to grab my left big toe, cross that leg over, straightening it out, looking over my left shoulder. I'm going to be kicking my my right foot back. Beautiful. Slowly unravel the twist. Again, draw those knees back up into your chest. Roll gently side to side and loosen that back up. And give yourself a little extra time. So the posture you particularly love and we didn't do and you feel like no practice is complete without it, feel free to go into it. Maybe you like bridge. Or maybe you like shoulder stand, or maybe you like plow. And if you're ready, extend those legs out, arms to your side, maybe roll those shoulder blades under your back. Move into a nice Shavasana. Keep your breathing steady, release any remnants of that controlled breath. Keep your mind in your space. Enjoy that nice work you've just done, moving that body around in all planes of motion. Settle in. start moving those toes. Thank you, Gus. You're such a good boy. You helping me? You helping me? Smell like a puppy. All right, wiggle those fingers. Roll your head gently side to side. Give yourself a full body stretch. Reach those arms overhead. Legs have come together. Maybe arch that back, pull on that core. Then bring those knees again one more time back into your chest. Hug those knees in, and then just release that right arm overhead. Roll gently to that right side. And then we're going to push ourselves up to seated on our mat. So our final posture is called easy pose. The beauty of easy pose, as I always say, is whatever feels easy is the pose. So a lot of people cross their legs, arms by your side, maybe hands at heart center, whatever feels good and comfortable and natural to you. Wow, you guys, this is my first online class, so thank you for coming along the journey with me. Thank you to my humble assistants. You guys were great. Yeah. Did you have a nice day? Yeah, I had a good day too. You're such a cutie pie. Thank you so much. So join me here. I'm going to be posting regularly until we can get back into the light, back into the sun, back into our studios. Remember, guys, as we lift up others, we lift up ourselves. From my heart to yours, Namaste. And again, thank you for joining me. I will see you very soon.